I gotta ask you about you because I heard some news that you're working with Angel Heredia. I know people giving you flack already, probably. Clear it up from people, man. Tell them what you want to tell them.
I don't think there's anything to clear up. I think there's people that have a checkered past, but at the end of the day, it's up to the athlete if he wants to cheat or not. You know what I mean? Memo'S an intelligent guy. He's got some intelligent workout regimens, and he's a guy who's had success with athletes. Granted, if a guy wants to cheat, it comes down to the guy's personal decision making. And at the end of the day, I'm a guy that wants to stay clean. Memo, I think, can work very well with a guy who wants to stay clean regardless. I don't think Memo can only work with you if you're dirty. You know what I mean? I think Memo is a very intelligent guy, and he can help you be clean and get the max out of your body. And so at Day's End, I literally just started working with him yesterday. Was it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was yesterday. Was my first day with him. We had to still come to terms, and it was exciting to come to terms and whatnot, and just have these couple of new workouts we did. Today we did in the pool. Yesterday we were at the track and whatnot. But ultimately, it's a situation where, like I said, it comes down to the athlete. And I'm a guy. I have too much respect for other fighters, man. You're risking your life in that ring. That's why I lose all respect for guys that I think are cheating against guys that are clean. You know what I mean? I think there's been times in boxing, and I'm not going to name any names, but fighters maybe, do it to get even the playing field against a guy they might think is cheating. And I'm not going to say that that's right, but at the end of the day, you're going to risk your life. You know what I mean? You're going to even the playing field. At Day's End, I don't have the heart to come in dirty against somebody who is sitting there being clean. These guys, everybody got a family to go home to. Everybody got a life to go home to. So at Day's End, I respect boxers too much to be a dirty fighter. And so regardless of who I'm working with, Memo's still a genius in what he does, and there's clean ways to be able to do it. And based on the workouts that he had me doing yesterday and today, it's been some, I wouldn't say it's fun all the time. I was really, really out of breath, but at the same time, it tests you, and it tests you physically and mentally. And those are the kind of things you want to do. You want new challenges in your life, and bring on the new challenges for me.
What made you choose him? I know Alex Reeves, other strength and conditioning coaches. What specifically made you kind of target Memo a little bit?
I had met Memo when I was here in January. I'm friends with John Pascal, and he was working with John for the Kovalev fight. So we just talked, and then we didn't really keep in touch or anything like that. And then he hit me up on Twitter recently. He said, "Hey man, if you're really serious about fighting again, hit me up. I really feel like I can help you and whatnot." So we talked and whatnot. I always felt like maybe I needed a little bit of more help in my career if I'm gonna continue to fight. Just more intelligence and whatnot, and the way I treat my body, because I'm 34 years old, and there's got to be ways of working out properly where I'm not overworking myself, but yet working out hard enough to get the most out of the workouts. And so I feel like an intelligent guy like that will know how. At Day's End, people are gonna create their opinions all they want. But it's all about, like I said, it all comes down to the athlete and what the athlete wants to do. Yeah. And like I said, I have too much respect for fighters to be that way, and I really mean that from the bottom of my heart, man. I think I've seen fighters that were clean going in with dirty fighters, that I felt were dirty fighters, and they're good fighters, but they're sitting there like sitting ducks. Boxing can be a dirty place, and fans choose their favorites in fights as fighters, and then they don't want to believe that maybe that guy might be on something, or maybe that guy might not be on something, or whatnot. At Day's End, you're victimized if you come in the ring clean against a guy who's dirty. And I have too much respect for other fighters. At the end of the day, it's a blood sport, it's a combat sport, but you don't want to put people more in jeopardy than they already are just by stepping in the ring.
Paulie, real quick follow up on that. In UFC, they started random drug testing, and all these guys started popping in main fights.
Yeah.
Now they're doing 365 random drug testing.
Yeah.
If boxing started random drug testing, how big of a problem do you think it would be? And do you feel that boxing should find a way to have random drug testing all year long?
I really feel like boxing, you would hope, can, and maybe one day it will. And I think it would be more of a problem than people think. I know people get on my case like anytime somebody's good, I say they're on something, but it's not really about anytime somebody's good. Yeah. I'm not a body expert. People look at me like, "Oh, this guy's on something. Look at his body." That's not what I specialize in, bro. If you're fighting at a ridiculous pace and you're fighting at bringing your punching power up multiple weight classes over, you look at the history of boxing. When guys move up in weight, there's things they have to do to compensate for the lack of punching power they're going to bring up, or they have to respect defensively the other fighter's punching power because they're fighting naturally bigger guys. the things you see nowadays, it's kind of crazy, you know. I think if you do random drug testing 365 days a year, you'll never see the things you're seeing in this generation again. You didn't see them before. You never saw these things before. You say old-time fighters fought in different weight classes. Old-time fighters were limited. That's the problem based on boxing. They think old-time fighters are better than today's fighters. No, they're not.
Yeah.
Watch the fight. Are you watching the same fight I'm watching? I'm watching these guys, wide punches, more room for error and whatnot. So, you know, maybe you can do it a little more when there's more room for error. There's less room for error nowadays. Yeah. So, you know, I
what
think
are the different promoters, though, in different organizations, do you ever see a way that boxing could implement random drug testing?
You know, the UFC is able to do it because it's a league,
right.
And you know, you basically just sign into the UFC. You sign into the UFC, and you're part of that league, so to speak. And then from there, that's you know, there's pros and cons to a league, and one of the pros is you can implement random drug testing, and everybody will have to go through it and submit to it if you're going to be a part of that league. And the cons to having the league is what's happening in UFC, where, you know, fighters probably get underpaid and you know, they deserve more money, you know. So there's pros and cons to everything. You would hope that they figure out a way with the random drug testing. And like I said, you'll never see this again. And it doesn't mean that today's fighters are going to be the best ever. Some people are going to think like, oh, the records we saw today in these days, oh, that guy was amazing. Was he amazing, or was it something else? So because once they implement random drug testing, it's just like baseball. You never see the amount of home runs that were getting hit at one time. You stop seeing it, and you'll never see it again. Fans got to stop being fans once in a while and just think outside the box and understand what's going on.